What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Coach Black, your internet, relationship, and breakup coach. Today's topic, 3 words you must not say to your ex after a breakup. By far, one of the most difficult parts about a breakup journey, if you're supposed to fix things with your ex, is communicating with them after no contact. It's very tricky because most people don't know how to act. You don't know what to say. You don't know how to treat them to keep them continuing to move closer towards you, to make them to continue to desire to fix things with you. And so communicating in the right way, still showing a level of restraint while you move forward in the relationship can be tricky. So I do understand. In this video, I want to essentially map out for you what you should be focusing on when you're talking to your ex after no contact. Now, there's nothing I can say with you in a video that will prepare you word for word for exactly the things that your ex is going to throw at you. Because I say this time and time again, your ex will test you. If you're doing no contact and you're staying away from them, what you're doing essentially is you're portraying yourself as an attractive person, as a higher value person. And we all know at the time your ex walked away, they didn't perceive you as someone that was high value. That's just the reason or the cycle of how breakups happen. They took you for granted. They felt like they might be able to do better. So in their eyes, they're still unsure about you. They remember you a certain way. And so they're going to test and challenge you and do things to get a reaction out of you to see if you go back to some of those weak, needy, insecure, and desperate behaviors. But we'll talk about that in another video. Let's focus on how to communicate with them. Now, first things first, one thing I see time and time again is some people confuse what no contact is. When you're staying away and you back away from your ex and you're not reaching out to them, no contact simply means that you will not reach out to your ex. That's it. It's not about ignoring your ex. This is not a game. That's another thing that I say over and over again, because some people will say things like, oh, no contact until your ex says something substantial. Well, that's a slippery slope. What exactly are you expecting your ex to say? You're expecting them to say they love you, that they miss you, or they want to fix the relationship, right? Expecting that is a failure to understand that attraction is a process, right? There's a quote by Dante that says, out of a little spark, a flame erupts. Something along those lines. I know I didn't get it exactly right. Right? Attraction is a slow and steady buildup. And so for most people, your ex is not going to come out and say they love you or they miss you. They're going to start with something smaller, and that is fine. And you have to slowly escalate and move things forward into a dating and courting process. So how do you do that? They say, hey, how are you doing? You respond, and you give them the opportunity within 2 to 3 texts to ask to see you. That's the goal of your first communication with your ex, is a date, a face-to-face get-together. Now, if they don't ask you out, if they don't ask to see you, then you can leave the conversation, come up with the reason, you're busy, you're working, and then they'll start to understand that the only way they're going to get your presence is if they ask to see you one-on-one. Now let's talk specifically about the topic of today's video. What are 3 words you must not say to your ex after no contact? The 3 words are simply, can we talk? So as your ex is starting to move forward towards you and you're starting to see some positive reactions from them, a lot of people just want to fix things instantly. You have this timeline in your mind that applies pressure to the situation. The last thing you want to do is to make your ex feel like you're pressuring them back into a relationship. Remember, you should be skeptical as well. This shouldn't be a quick and simple process. And so when you say, can we talk? For most of us, we understand that can we talk is usually not a positive conversation. If you're in a relationship and your partner says, hey, we need to talk, there's an underlying knowledge that they probably have something negative to talk to you about. And that's the same impression that you give your ex, or at least they feel like, okay, you want to talk about something serious, something I don't want to talk about in the moment. It feels like pressure. For the most part, what you're saying, or what they think you're saying, is, can we talk about fixing the relationship? And they're not ready for that yet. So it adds unnecessary pressure to the situation, when what you should be focused on is being with your ex in the present moment. That's all you can control. And the more fun and the more enjoyable memories that your ex has with you, the more they will be attracted to you, the more they will be drawn to you. And eventually down the line, you will talk about the issues and the problems that went down in the relationship. So if there's any takeaway that I want you to have from this video, it is to understand your job is not to fix the relationship. It's not to fix all of the issues in the relationship in one conversation. It does not work that way. If anything, your goal when you're communicating with your ex, provided they are the ones pursuing you, is to facilitate face-to-face get-togethers. Primarily, you want to be spending more time in person. And when they're not available and they're just trying to text, always find things to be doing. Be too busy for them to have unlimited access to you over the phone. If we're going to spend time together, it's got to be in person. And then number two, in these face-to-face interactions, your focus is never to be solving the relationship issues, only to be creating new, fun, and enjoyable memories. And that way, they will start to desire to lock you down. And when you get them to that place, getting back together is a lot easier. Okay, so I want you to stop focusing on fixing things. Stop pressuring yourself and your ex to get every conversation perfectly right. It's because the stakes are so high in your mind when they shouldn't be. You want to see and evaluate your ex as well and see if they have changed and if they're good enough for you. When you take out that pressure and you just communicate with them like you're going on a fresh new date with a new person, it's easier to actually build the bond and connection that you will need to foster a new healthy relationship in the future. But anyway, if you haven't already, be sure to like this video right now. It costs you nothing, but it truly does help the channel out, and it gets this content out to more people who need it. Also, if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of the future videos that I put out on this channel. Thanks so much for watching. If you want to talk to me one-on-one, the quickest way to do so is to click the first link in the description, and we can talk about your situation and your breakup questions. Thanks again for watching. I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.